Alfie Stirling is Head of Economics at the New Economics Foundation and joins me now. Were your council sought? What would you tell the Chancellor about this? Good morning.
Hi, Nick. I think the first thing to say is that, some of this language that's coming out of Whitehall this morning, with respect to using the word addiction and weaning off these schemes is really quite surprising and egregious, actually, because with one hand, government is trying to ask people to do the right thing. No one wants to lose their job. People are self-isolating for the greater good of the country and of society to keep the death count down and to protect the NHS. But then with the other, to then start talking about people being addicted to the support that's put in place to help them do that, I find that really quite remarkable. In terms of my advice to government, it would be do this the right way around. So yes, we will have to get to a place where we start to return to something that is closer to the normal we had before social distancing measures were put in place. But what has to happen first, before we think about unwinding the income support, is first to create new jobs. We're going to find probably about 2 million jobs taken out of the economy as a result of the government lockdown. So government needs to be focusing on the job creation.
What sort of sector will those job losses be felt most keenly in, do you imagine?
Well, the sectors that will be hardest hit are the ones that, we all know about. It's hospitality, retail, places where it's really hard to run a business whilst maintaining social distancing. But we also know there's huge potential to create jobs. Two examples are, number one, our public services now need tremendous strengthening. We need to be strengthening social care. We need new track and trace workforce. That should be being done right now with plans to boost the number of people in work and who can move into those jobs through training. But also, actually, now is the time to be investing in infrastructure. Borrowing is incredibly cheap. There are lots of opportunities for construction, insulating people's homes, building electric transport network. These are things that can and should be happening now, should happen before we start talking about unwinding the income protection support. People need jobs to go to.
Lastly, do you imagine the government is allowing for the fact many people in a city such as London will be very concerned about riding the buses, the London Underground or the trains? They're going to seek to get back in their cars. How much of a concern might that be, a sort of gridlock?
Yeah, this is why I think it's focusing on, focusing on transport. The labour market is the key priority now, not cutting, the umbilical cord of support. And I think in terms of that specific question, we have to be looking at answers like incentivising firms to reschedule their workforces, so to try and smooth commuter times across the day, encouraging employers to bring in people at different times of day, for different shift patterns, so that we don't overwhelm public transport and we can smooth out that load.